Here are 2,090 words of a detailed summary of The Power of Awareness by Neville Godard. The power of awareness teaches how to consciously shape your reality by controlling your imagination and assumptions. Neville Godard explains that your consciousness is the only cause, substance, and reality behind all experience. The outer world merely reflects your inner assumptions and self-concepts. By dwelling in imagined states of already having and being that which you desire, you impress your subconscious until your desires naturally manifest. 1. Consciousness is the only reality. The foundation of Neville's teachings is that consciousness is the sole reality, and the inner world creates the outer. Your consciousness is synonymous with God or infinite awareness itself. All appearances of separateness or multiplicity are but different views of the one consciousness filtered through individual minds. There is nothing outside of consciousness. It is the only substance, cause, and reality. Your concept of yourself determines which portion of infinite consciousness you experience as your world. If you dwell in images of lack, you experience lack. If you dwell in images of abundance, you experience abundance. The outer mirrors the inner. Change the inner, and the outer reshapes itself to reflect this. The law of assumption is based on the fact that your consciousness is God, shaping itself kaleidoscopically based on your beliefs and assumptions. Your individual consciousness is like a kaleidoscope tube that shapes reality into patterns based on your beliefs, assumptions, perspectives, and imagination. Neville is conveying the idea that consciousness morphs reality into kaleidoscopic patterns corresponding to our inner states. But the one consciousness remains unchanged, like the tube of the kaleidoscope, while its contents shift and vary. When Neville refers to the one consciousness, he is pointing to the unified field of universal consciousness or pure awareness that underlies all of existence. This is sometimes called absolute consciousness, universal mind, source, God, or the quantum field. In contrast, the individual consciousness is like a wave on the surface of the one ocean of universal consciousness. The wave has its separate temporary form and identity, but is ultimately made of the same water as the entire ocean. In other words, our individual consciousness arises within the infinite field of universal consciousness. Our personal consciousness has the ability to access deeper states of unity with the one consciousness through practices like meditation, but in its normal state it is focused on separation and unaware of its connection to the greater whole. However, by recognizing that our consciousness is rooted in the infinite potential of the one consciousness, we can begin to consciously co-create reality. We provide the patterns, while the unified field of consciousness provides the raw potential for manifestation. Thus, aligning our individual consciousness with the creative power of the one consciousness is the key to shaping reality intentionally. 2. Assumption creates reality. Your assumptions impress themselves upon your subconscious, which then alters conditions and events to align with this impression. Persisting in the assumption of a wish fulfilled programs your subconscious to externalize this inner reality. To consciously create, assume the feeling that you already have what you desire. Feel it to be true now. Dwell in this imagined state until it dominates your thinking and feeling. This conditions your subconscious mind to manifest it. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you rise psychologically to a higher state of consciousness that compels the external world to reflect it. First, inhabit the desired reality in imagination until it feels natural. Then, your subconscious reshapes the outer to conform to it. Destiny evolves this way through your moment-to-moment assumptions and states of consciousness. You determine experience by the concepts you persistently assume to be true. 3. The power of imagination and attention. Imagination is the creative power of God within you, shaping consciousness. It allows you to transcend present limitations by assuming greater desires are already fulfilled. This alters your mode of consciousness, and your new state manifests outwardly. To consciously create, deliberately impress your subconscious by immersing your imagination in the feeling of being and having all that you desire. Attention energizes this process. Wherever you direct your attention, imagination activates to produce those patterns. Constantly dwell upon and feel yourself to be the person you wish to be. Maintain this assumption with focused attention. Persist until your subconscious mind accepts it as reality and automatically rearranges the world to embody your vision. Like a magnifying glass focusing the sun's rays to ignite paper, your attention concentrated on an assumption sets your reality aflame. 4. Assume your wish fulfilled. To manifest what you desire, assume it's already fulfilled. Enter the state in imagination that would be yours if your wish were realized. Relive this inner vision daily with full sensory vividness. From this place of fulfillment, view your outer world. Persist with faith that your assumption will harden into fact. This conditions your subconscious mind until your assumption becomes your new reality. Ignore all contrary evidence from the senses while maintaining inner certainty it is already done. If doubt or disbelief enter, refresh your vision vividly until certainty returns. Rest in deep knowing that unseen reality creates visible reality. Do not question when or how it will come about. Just dwell in the end, in the wish fulfilled, with steadfast conviction it is finished. Through unwavering assumption, inner becomes outer automatically. There is no secret but this. 5. Desire and attention. Intense, burning desire combined with total absorption of attention in the feeling of fulfillment brings about manifestation rapidly and effortlessly. The greater the longing, the greater the attractive force set in motion. Focus all your attention in imagination where you already have what you want. Do not allow distractions or contrary thoughts. Maintain this until you fall asleep, feeling wish fulfilled. The subconscious accepts what is persistently impressed upon it as truth and finds ways to realize it. 6. Determining your destiny. You determine your destiny in every moment by your assumptions, imaginations, and reactions. Each attained desire becomes the platform from which to transcend to the next. Since consciousness is eternal change, there is no final destiny. You set in motion your ever-evolving destiny by the concepts you adopt, your reactions to events, and the assumptions you dwell upon. Consciously transform your destiny by living more and more in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Make this your habitual state. Assume the noblest concept of yourself you can conceive. Persist in this lofty vision with unshakable faith. Your subconscious will conform conditions to this new view you hold of yourself and your world. You become that which you constantly assume yourself to be. 7. Live in the end. The key is to live in the end, in the wish fulfilled, not in the means. Do not concern yourself with plans or steps to achieve the desire. Dwell only on the assumption you already have it now. The how will unveil itself. Bridge the gap between desire and fulfillment by staying faithful to the assumption your wish is now reality. This constant unwavering faith causes the subconscious to reconstruct your world until desire and reality are one. The feeling that it is already done is the prime requirement. Assume this feeling and persist in moving, speaking, and acting from it until outward reality confirms it. Signs of external confirmation are inevitable if you maintain the conviction it is finished. These follow naturally from producing inner causes. The world echoes your inner assumptions. It does not create them. Conditions correspond exactly to your most dominant beliefs and imaginations. The outer has no power except to reflect the inner. Change the cause, consciousness, and the effect, conditions must change. 8. Control your inner conversations. Watch self-talk carefully as it reveals your assumptions and expectations. Our inner conversations mirrored back to us appear as outer conditions. What you habitually say within yourself determines what happens. Become aware when you descend to negative imaginations and self-talk. Stop and deliberately redirect your inner speech and scenes. Consistent positive mental imagery sows seeds in the subconscious that blossom as external events. Never accept an undesirable condition as final. There are no hopeless situations, only negative assumptions. You can transform any circumstance by changing your beliefs. Define exactly what you wish, then assume it is already so by imagining what you would see and feel if it were true presently. Enter this state in consciousness and view the world from it. Through persistent assumption, inner accepts, and external reflects. You are limited only by your imagination and unwillingness to assume the wish fulfilled. All limitations are self-imposed by false concepts that can be altered. 9. Focus on the positive. To liberate yourself, cease dwelling on problems or accepting untrue notions about yourself and the world. Ignore all that denies your desire, no matter how real or convincing. Focus solely on what you truly want by assuming it fulfills you now. Persist without wavering, and outward conditions will change to affirm it, proving reality conforms to your assumptions. This law cannot distinguish good from bad. It neutralizes what you assume to be true, whether positive or negative. Replace negatives with positives. 10. Righteousness. Righteousness means assuming you already are what you desire to be, whereas unrighteousness is accepting that you are less than your fulfilled desire. If you do not rise imaginatively to your desire, you are accepting a false concept of yourself and remain unfulfilled. Assume the feeling that you already embody the highest vision of yourself and your life. Make this vision an inner fact. Your subconscious then transforms it into an outer fact. This inner conviction of wishing fulfilled is true righteousness and exalts you to any height. Limitation is self-imposed by false imagination, never forced upon you. Change your imagination, change your world. 11. Renounce the old. To approach anything new, you must renounce previous misconceptions about it. Renouncing does not mean attacking, resisting, or fighting external conditions. Leave what does not please you. Dwell only on what brings joy. Turn attention from problems to the feeling that you already are what you desire. Renouncing the limitations of the present by assuming your wish fulfilled automatically transforms it. That to which you constantly return constitutes your truest self. Return only to your noblest vision of self and world. This slays all lesser dragons. 12. Persistence is key. The key is persistence in assuming your desire is already fulfilled until this becomes your dominant feeling, crowding out all doubt and contradictions. Like a seed buried in the darkness pressing ever upward, if you persist, your assumptions will sprout and grow into the light. Maintain integrity to your vision by persisting in the knowledge that the unseen reality creates the visible. Do not question the how, when, and where. Just know it will appear and continue dwelling in that knowingness. This unshakable conviction, coupled with persistence in imagination, is irresistible. The subconscious mind accepts as true what is repeatedly impressed upon it and faithfully brings it forth. 13. Control your imagination. You must control your imagination and not be controlled by it. Let it flow untethered, and it engulfs you with negative thoughts and fearful scenarios. So use your imagination constructively by consciously directing it towards what you desire, not what you fear. Harness imaginative power for your benefit through focused assumption. Imagine only loving, noble states regardless of circumstances. Disciplines of concentration and meditation help tame the imagination. Still the mind, shut out all distraction and negativity, then intentionally imagine the wish fulfilled over and over until it feels natural. This stamps it on the subconscious to make it so. 14. Think from the end. The difference between success and failure lies in thinking from the end instead of the end. When you think of the end, you use the imagination passively as mere wishing and remain separate from attainment. When you think from the end, imagination becomes an organ of creative power by assuming you already have what you desire. If you persist in this assumption, your subconscious bridges the gap between imagination and reality. Think from the end, not of the end. 15. Live in the feeling. Entertain no opposing thoughts or emotions once you assume the feeling of wish fulfilled. Embody the state. Step fully into it with conviction and make it more real than physical sensation until you are one with it. Imagine so vividly that facts to the contrary lose influence. Persistently return to this inner world with such frequency that you live, move, and breathe wholly in the assumption that you already have all you desire. This full occupancy is essential.
Now listen to this again, or listen to the other summaries. Check the links around this video for other summaries of this book and other important books as well. Happy manifesting!